Look, thanks for being here again, man. Welcome back to the platform. Welcome back to the show, Nicardo Media House. It's not the regular show this morning. You understand the vibes and the energy, and it's just not here at this moment. You understand? It's just not here, but we know what is on the horizon. To hit the country. Jamaica. Melissa, the storm. Seems to be like it's going to be a tough one to deal with, but it's natural disaster. We are some strong sets of people, hope we can deal with it, strong, firm, chin up, stand strong on the ground and stuff like that. Help our neighbors, each one help one as well. And hopefully people that who are vulnerable around the low line areas, especially close to the gully bank, close to the landslide, the river, especially the fish communities as well, that that located right on the bank of the sea and stuff like that. You understand? So hopefully the people can really stay safe, because it's going to be a tough one. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to deal with. As you could see, like, the vibes and the energy is not here. But guess what, man? The morning inside the show have to continue. You understand? Know a lot of people looking out for this show, and maybe the ones them that locally in Jamaica as well, that they want something to look at in terms of football, and there's nothing much happening in the space. They can watch the morning inside and probably feel a little bit better, and to take their mind away from the natural disaster just for a quick 10-15 minutes. Could be a therapy for some people as well. You understand? But again, talking about reggae boy players, not many stuff happened over the weekend. The weekend was a dull weekend compared to what the reggae boys players would have done in recent weeks, especially a couple of weeks ago. You understand? But I managed to pick a few talking points, stuff that happened over the weekend, including our own, Andre Blake, Leon Bailey making his first start in the Seria A, at a ground that he would have played before as well. Trivante Stewart, ends his 3-game goal drought for the Israel team as well. So that's where I'm really going with this video at this moment. But it would have been the massive talking point in the MLS, at Chester, Philadelphia Union at home versus Chicago Fire. And look, 2-0 up until around the 75 minute, and then Chicago Fire start to really put their foot down on the gas pedal. And Andre Blake was there in a few moments, and you say maybe if he didn't save that one, because Philly missed their first penalty shootout. You understand? And then Andre Blake put him team back right into the game. So he was very good. I think they gave him man of the match. But he was excellent on the day as usual. He's a man that tend to save. Is it the Reggae Boys, or it's going to be Philadelphia Union? You name it. But I mean, Philadelphia Union is in around the bracket of potentially could face New York or Charlotte in the next round. And if they go again to beat either New York or Charlotte, it's Inter Miami or the others right there waiting for Andre Blake. So it's going to be a tough postseason for Andre Blake. Not the best of results versus New York, not the best of results versus a Lionel Messi. Yeah, not just say Inter Miami, but just say not the best of past history with Lionel Messi. So look, it's going to be tough, but we would love to see Andre Blake lift this trophy, as so many hard work he put in over the years, to try to capture the MLS Cup, but he's yet to get it. The only 2-time winning the Supporters Shield, 2020, and the one that just passed just a few months ago. So let's see what Andre Blake can really get into the game. And also Andre Blake actually speak right after the game, and this you have to say around his performance versus Chicago Fire, especially in the PK as well.
So Andre, talk about some of those saves you made tonight, especially in the penalties.
Yeah, my job, my first job is to try to stop the ball from going in the net, and then once I can do that successfully, I give my team a chance to win the game. So tonight was just the same. It was never an easy game, but a win is a win, so I'm happy for that. Happy for the guys. We really fought hard tonight. It was a tough game.
Yeah, so that's Andre Blake speaking to the media after the game, and Leon Bailey making his first start for AS Roma, and it was a very tricky game. It was a very tricky game. I not much really happened in that game for Leon Bailey. I mean, the game was dull. The game was dull. It wasn't that bright game. Not many end-to-end action. That was in around the game as well. Leon Bailey started for the first time with Paulo Dybala, and the coach, I've said a few pieces around, Dybala and the Leon Bailey started for the first time after, both players, were in the treatment room at one point, for AS Roma, a few months, but a few weeks ago, before the return of the international break. You understand? So, the coach would have said that, it was trying something new, hoping that the false nine could have worked. We've seen, the interchange of the Leon Bailey, moving from the right-hand side, going into, the number 9 position, drop in the middle, playing as a false nine at times. So we'd have seen a lot of changes in between, with Paulo Dybala and Leon Bailey, but not much, happen in the game with that partnership. I don't think they put 3 successful passes together in that entire game. That I would say the entire 50 minutes that Leon Bailey played in that game, leader came off in around 5 minutes after the start of the second half. Again, still working, to get back to his fitness. He's not really there as yet. Hopefully, he can get up to speed as quick as possible. Then we can start to really judge what is happening around the Bailey and, not up to fitness as yet, Leon Bailey. So we would love to see him get up to match sharp, get up to fitness as quick as possible so we can really start to grade him at a, very hard, because he's getting his buy-in at this moment. This is his grace period. You understand? This is Leon Bailey grace period, as he was out for a couple of months. He's working his way back to full fitness, and then we can actually start to grade him the way how we want to grade him. But his team one on the day, it's like Roma might be in a Scudetto race. Leon Bailey found himself after, I want to say, a mid-table team, Aston Villa, found himself at a bigger club in our next league with a very experienced manager, a very good manager, Gasparini as well, and might find himself in a Scudetto race, in a very big title race. And if Roma going to do anything, are going to challenge as deep and as long as possible in this Scudetto race, Paulo Dybala, Bailey, all those heavy fire, all those attacking players, Dubik, they have to come out firing at some point in the season, to give AS Roma, have a good shot at this Scudetto race. But I mean, it's good to see, Bailey making his first start. It's minutes under his belt. This is not the first time Bailey is playing against Sassuolo, as he would have done this probably look a bit under 10 years ago, the 2016-2017 season, when he was playing for KRC Genk. He scored against Sassuolo as well, but that was on Belgium soil. So yeah, he never lost a game versus Sassuolo. So this is his third time, playing against the Italian team. Again, he did it in, I think it was, I want to say it was a group stage game versus Sassuolo. He scored on Sassuolo before, but that was, on Belgium side. But yeah, big minutes under his belt. Let's see, what will be the further progress for Leon Bailey and AS Roma as they continue to keep intact with the Scudetto giants, the teams that are in around the Scudetto title challenge. But Trivante Stewart would have, broke his 3-game drought. You understand? In 3-game drought, haven't scored in his last 3 games. 8 appearances this season, 6 start and 4 goals in the league. So the drought is finally over for Trivante Stewart. And you will say, look, I mean, it was coming, but this was the big moments for Trivante Stewart in the game that his team played on Saturday.
גורי עושה את התנועה, הכדור הולך לסטיוארט. אזולאי מנסה להשיג את השליטה בחזרה, זה אצל סטוארט, נבעט מכאן, סטוארט! שולח את זה למעלה, 2 דקות, 20 שניות.
ישר חשב על השער, השתחרר, ראה שאין עליו לחץ, הניף את הרגל, בעט כדור חזק. שמע, טבריה, שידרתי אותה.
הרקה לא טובה, זה אצל חזיזה, מוצא את זה לסטוארט, סטוארט מסתובב! סיבוב טוב, הרעיון טוב.
על השער של חזיזה במקום שהוא עמד, והוא הפתיע את כולם בזה שהוא מסר. אי אפשר לבוא בטענות הפעם לסטוארט.
בואו נראה מה עכשיו. 6 שחקנים בירוק בתוך הרחבה, הכדור הזה עולה, סטוארט! 1-0! השער הראשון בעידן המחודש של ברק בכר. סטוארט ומכבי חיפה עולים ליתרון בדקה 21. כמה זה קל, בלי שמירה.
כן, קודם כל, תשמע, הוא מאוד עוצמתי. אתה רואה גם איך הוא עולה פה לנגיחה ונוגח את הכדור מעל. תכף נראה גם מי היה האיש שלא הצליח להתמודד איתו. הוא בא מאחור.
אף אחד
לא שומר אותו.
הוא לא היה צריך להתמודד עם מישהו.
נכון, אף אחד לא שמר אותו, והוא הצליח להתרומם לו שם.
אבל רק שער אחד, מכבי חיפה מוליכה 1-0 מהנגיחה של סטוארט בדקה 21. אתם מוזמנים. אבו עקל, יופי של לחץ שם של מכבי חיפה, זה גם גורם לחטיפה. סטוארט ינסה להגיע ומצליח! אבל הכדור שלו עולה למעלה.
הדירה של חיפה, גם הלחץ על הכדור, גם כאן היא פתח את המשחק ימינה לחזיזה נהדר, וחזיזה תראה איזה כדור מושלם.
מעביר את זה לסטוארט, משתלט ובועט את החזקה השטוחה. סנטוס יורד בזמן. איתן אזולאי מקבל מפות גורנו, מקפיץ את זה לסטוארט! לא! זה היה...
בוא נראה, זה ההגבהה. סטוארט קופץ. יובנוביץ' לא הגיע לכדור, סטוארט נגח.
יש סיכוי גם שיובנוביץ' היה בנבדל. שער שלהם.
Yeah, so Trivante Stewart scored, but the team winless run continued. This is their 5th game on the bounce of not managed to put a W in the bracket as it. And look, when Trivante scored for his team, the team haven't lost as yet. So the team actually, get at least a point or 3 points whenever, Trivante Stewart score. But I mean, look, all I can say, like, he's getting big moments easily in that game. Trivante Stewart should have gone on to score a hat-trick in that game, even a brace, and to witness and watching that highlights to see that football club came back and equalized in the dying moment, against Trivante Stewart team. I mean, look, the manager, he was living it in the press conference. I was watching the post interview of their manager, and he was living it. Trivante Stewart team is coaching by, I think he's an Argentinian, so he was living it, and you could see his body language, the reaction of when he saw Trivante Stewart missing those point blank goals. I mean, look, the season so far, he missed 4 big chances. Yeah, he missed 4 big chances so far this season in the league alone. So you want to, you want to see Trivante Stewart at least, sharpen up his tool a little bit in front of goal, but he's getting himself into goal scoring opportunities. But it will come. But this was hope that it was just like a one-off game where these opportunities that he got in that game, it's not going to follow up, on the player career, until the end of the season. But 4 goals so far in the league, 8 games played, 6 games start, easily this can be a double figure, for Trivante Stewart already should have been in around double figures, for the team Maccabi Haifa as well. You understand? Should have been somewhere around 8 to 10 goals already this season with some big point blank opportunity that Trivante Stewart missed in this game and also in previous game as well. So, and he managed to, to give him teammates to opportunity to get on the score sheet, but they didn't took the opportunity. But it's big miss, and then his team is in a rut at this moment. I mean, no wins, yet no wins in their last 5, and they're sliding down the hill. But I do feel like they will get back up to winning ways and climb up at the table. But this team is a perfect team, I think, at this moment for Trivante. When you look at the team, their average position, they're up there in the top 3. They managed to be first on the list for most accurate crosses into the box. And you would have seen Trivante Stuart missed a clear header that when that ball pin out on that right hand side, he was actually holding up his hand and and the player just pinned the ball and drop it right on his head, and he couldn't direct that ball on target. But again, man, hopefully it's just one of those games that Trivante Stuart going to get those goals and not to score. But moving forward and anything after, hopefully he can be a little bit more accurate in front of goal. But that's that, people. That is that for the Morning Insider. Not the best of video, I can say that. Not the best of video. As I said before, the vibe, the energy, the mood is not there after have here the build up of Melissa about to hit the island anytime soon at this moment. So pray up and chin up for the people, each one help one during this natural disaster, as everyone needs each one help in around and help your neighbor, you understand? So big up on yourself, thanks for passing through, and hope to see you guys sometime again. But I don't think I will make a video look more from now, but see you guys and choose it. Ciao.